A member of the hierarchy of the Marine Corps asked me to re-emphasize something that's very important. In 2014, we lost 930 Marines from drug and alcoholic discharges, over 1,000 in 2015. Only recently, that same Marine told me that year to date, we've had 120 Marines die. Only one in combat, motorcycles, suicide, drinking, etc. It's about taking care of each other, which we do better than any other branch, but we still have a long way to go. Did you know that 10% of this country, 10% of the world, has an alcoholic dependence? I like to have a highly controlled small amounts of wine and beer and things, but it's got to be that. It's got to be controlled, and you've got to have that discipline word. Alcohol, especially binging. 4 drinks for a woman, 5 drinks for a man is binging. Binging is even worse than the chronic drinking. Binging, young people have strokes and heart attack. Their life expectancy is 10% less. Their chances of a divorce, accidents, people who spend their life being a professional, jobs, especially what you went through in boot camp, what everybody else goes through in OCS or boot camp, all wiped out in one stupid moment. It's very important to get serious about this. My best friend, Nick Calvert, was a submariner. At the age of 38, after binging, he wasn't a heavy drinker consistently, but when he's on submarines, it's like you don't drink for a long time. So he binged and went off a cliff in San Diego and died. There's a Marine named Anthony Gale. Came from Dublin, born here. Became a heck of a Marine. When it rose all the way up through the ranks, was in Tripoli, Mexico, other battles. Outstanding Marine. One time when a Navy officer had abused one of the Marine sentries, Lieutenant Gale went up and slapped that Navy officer, challenged him to a duel, and killed him the next morning in a fair fight. Put up for a court-martial, the commandant said, he's taking care of the Marines, dismissed. He went on to some more actions in his career, came back as a major and became the 4th Commandant of the Marine Corps. And the reason we don't know where he's buried and don't have a likeness of this Marine is because he drank so heavily and got so much trouble from it that he faded away to Kentucky and was actually court-martialed as Commandant out of the Marine Corps. Think about that waste. That's the key word, waste. All the investment all Marines have made in their careers, and now this is a waste. We have to take care of each other. That's the message. As you might have known, I was embedded 3 times, a long period of time with Marines, and I want you to know, the Marines today are sharper than when I was in, by far. I'm not sure I wore the same uniform because you Marines today are much sharper than when I was in. I came back, and it's also important to know that I've had a lot of titles. I've been head of a sports organization, corporations, and to this day, even though our Marines aren't always perfect, I pride myself more on being a Marine veteran. I give talks to colleges, to businesses, places I've been, and in fact, one of the sports organization. And one of the remarks that I get from some young people is that where would they learn leadership? Not that I knew much about it, but they ask me where to learn leadership. And they don't like the answer. They don't like the answer. So when people don't like the answer, it's best to give it to them straight, like I did to you earlier, John. They don't like the answer, so I tell them to them, I didn't learn leadership at any college 101 course or any corporate program. I learned it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on a little island off the coast of South Carolina. I learned it from every officer and NCO I met. Why? Because they're immersed in a culture of excellence, just like you gentlemen, founded on discipline and virtue. It changed my life for the better. Once a Marine, thank you.